the importance of sleep and the benefits it has to our health, but many of us struggle to get enough sleep. Going to bed earlier is one way to get more Z's, but that's often easier said than done. Our next guest has some practical tips to help you improve your sleep habits to feel better rested and recharged. So let's welcome back sleep expert Amanda Jewson. Good morning, Amanda.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You look well rested. Now, a lot of celebrities, they're like, it's a trend right now. A lot of celebrities sharing on social media that they're going to bed earlier for their health. Are there health benefits to going to bed earlier?
Yeah, there are. And what's really cool is the science is backing this up. It's not just about how we feel. So there was a study in October of 2024 that just came out. Now, it focused on children. They looked at 88 children. And I kind of giggle when I talk about this study because they examined their feces, okay? And when they examined these children, they looked at 88 kids. They looked at the kids who went to bed before 9:30 p.m. And they had three key bacteria. So number one, Akkermansia muciniphila. This is supporting metabolism, the lining of the gut. Our Allstipes fingoli. These are tongue twisters, by the way. This reduces overall inflammation and it aids in digestion. What goes in comes out. And finally, this sounds like a wrestling match, but it's called Holdmania filiformis. Now, this particular bacteria supports immune response. So these kids who are going to bed early had this bacteria. And we know that the kids who didn't go to bed early suffered from more chronic illness, had more frequent wakings, and generally weren't as well as their kids or the counterparts who were. So we can make some implications for adults knowing this information.
Wow, I hope they're going to do some studies with people of different age groups, but that is fascinating that there's in this study, such a direct connection between sleep health and gut health. That's shocking. And then that it's into overall health with immune response and such. So, all right. So obviously going to bed earlier is beneficial in many, many ways. But some people swear that they just can't get to bed earlier than, say, 11 o'clock. So what advice do you have for people about, trying to get to bed earlier? Or what time is early, I guess, is a good question, too.
That is a good question. So, there's an adage, and it's not exactly perfect or true, but all hours of sleep before midnight count more, okay? So, and the idea behind that is as we get earlier into the morning hours, and remember, we're creatures of the sun. When the sun is peeping up, our brains and our bodies produce different hormones at different times. And likewise on the other end in the early evening. So, if you get to bed in at 10, 11, I think you're in a good zone. And I'm speaking for adults. Children generally do well with earlier bedtimes between 6:30 and 9, depending on their age. And I agree, going to bed earlier is hard. Bodies don't like to go to bed earlier. So you want to set a routine, something that you're doing outside of your body, that when you do it, your body goes, oh, sleep is next. And everyone hates this. You're going to limit these screens. Okay, put away your phones, TVs. The blue light from your screen tells you to stay awake, and we're all on screens at all hours. So this is a hard one, but it really is key. And think about these gut-friendly foods, okay? If you can't go to bed earlier, think about how we can increase our microbiome and our microbiome diversity through things like yogurt, high-grain foods. Having those foods may aid in that gut bacteria anyway.
Fascinating that there's that sleep-gut connection and that diet can impact our sleep too. Fascinating. All right, well, let's throw in another challenge. We're going to spring forward this Sunday, resulting in losing an hour of sleep. How do you recommend people, adjust things so that they can try to have as little impact as possible on their sleep?
Yeah, whether you're trying to go to bed earlier for daylight savings happening this Sunday. Now, this one's a confusing one because our clocks go forward, right? So we think that we're going to bed later. We actually go to bed earlier. Your 9 p.m. this week will be 10 next week. And that's hard for bodies. So start now. Put yourself to bed 15 to 30 minutes earlier, literally right now. And as you go through the time change, so after Sunday, try to get outside as much as you can. Get sunlight on your face during the daytime hours. Get night exposure you're outside at night, that's going to, again, re-regulate your hormones to do what we want it to do at the right times, wake you up in the morning and help you go to bed at night. And if needed, I very rarely recommend melatonin use, but very low dose melatonin, I'm speaking to adults only, 1 milligram in those early hours can help prep your body to produce that melatonin earlier. So if you're going to bed at 9 old time, take 1 milligram of melatonin. That might help just remind your body, hey, can we do this on our own a little bit early as we go through?
All right, so fascinating. Oh, wait, I have a question for you. It's just this
Yeah.
is it. I made this up, and I just want to ask you. You're in the
I'm ready.
world of sleep. What is your healthy
Yeah.
sleep trend of the moment? Like, what's your current obsession in the sleep world?
Oh, it's funny. I'm doing another segment on this elsewhere. There are a lot of sort of things online about weighted blankets, weighted masks, and the idea around that is that the increased weight produces feel-good hormones like oxytocin. So we can put stuff on your face and on your body, even for 15 to 20 minutes, and we're starting to see actual evidence and study show that it aids in sleep onset. So sleep onset is the amount of time it takes to fall asleep. And these are easy little comfy things. You have a weighted blanket, you sit on your couch, watch some Netflix, not too close to TV, but you're going to feel those oxytocin and feel good hormones. Might actually help you fall asleep a little bit easier.
There you go. Great tip. All right, Amanda, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure, anytime.